This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Welcome in, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Rob Taylor from the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce joining me this week. And Rob, I know you're a dedicated Red Sox fan, you're a big Sox fan, and as am I. The performance that they've put on so far, we've got a lot to talk about in the next couple segments. First, we'll talk about, they went on the road last night, opened that two-game series up against the Yankees, and Chris Sale looked good for a few innings, couple innings, and then in the third with 2 outs, it slowly started happening, and then all hell broke loose, and they get beat again. Big number. This is troubling. Yeah,
8-0, laying an egg at Yankee Stadium. Last time I was on, I think last week, we were talking about maybe not panicking.
Right.
I think we're starting to approach time to panic.
Yeah.
You know, it's not looking good, and I think we're starting to see people pointing fingers. If you read the internet, you'll see lots of stuff about who's to blame. You know, we'll see. I mean, can they turn it around? Obviously they can, and salvage a decent season. Right. But sitting in the basement of the American League with the Rays playing great. The Yankees pitcher last night put on a clinic with really just a couple of pitches, was just spot on with his placement. So I don't know. I mean, I'm starting to get that feeling like this could be a bad season. Yeah, because we talked about it, you're right, last week, and they were 3-8 on the road trip, but you said, okay, they're going to come back home, and then they drop opening day at home, and okay, well, they're just getting their sights back into the home cooking, but they go 3-3 on the homestand, so 500 against two teams are not that good, the Orioles and the Blue Jays, and then you're right, they lose last night. So it does seem like, you know, and we talked about it a little bit last week, it's not just that they're losing, it's how they're losing. I mean, they've lost 5 games by more than 7 or more runs. I mean, this is not like it's just, hey, we're dropping a couple and we'll find a few things. Mookie Betts isn't hitting the ball, he's making mental errors. Last night, another one on the base paths. So it seems like it's not just going to be correctable and a switch is going to come on. That's what worries me the most. Yeah, Chris Sale, $145 million guy, 0-4 with like an 8.5 ERA. This is just not looking good. Although he did seem like he had his velocity back last night. There were some small slivers of hope in there, but you know, as he said in his post-game comments, you know, they were interviewing him in the locker room. You know, he's miserable and he's kind of embarrassed. I think the whole team is just really feeling bad, and you try to, you know, put your finger on what is it that's actually to blame, and I'm going to put my finger on the lack of good quality playing time for these pitchers for the starting rotation during spring training. It seemed like they were trying to save them up, and I'm going to say, you know, that's all on Alex Cora and Dombrowski. It must have been their strategy going into spring training was to try to save those guys, keep them healthy. But man, a recipe for disaster. Right. No, I completely agree with you. And we said that last week, and we thought it might be part of the problem, and it seems to continue. Really, the only bright spot on the starting rotation, is David Price. Had a good game, winning on Sunday, getting their one win before they left, or before the Patriots Day game, but it isn't just the starting rotation, it's the offenses. Like you mentioned last night, not putting up any runs. I think 1 hit for most of the game. So it's not just the pitching, it's the offense, and that's what scares me the most. It's not one thing we can say, well, they'll turn it around. So, but maybe one thing they'll turn it around. They got a new catcher on the team. We'll get to that. Old catcher, right. So Sandy Leon is back with the team. Swihart is out. I know there's a lot of chatter with Sandy Leon handles the pitchers better, but I don't know if that's a magic elixir, so to speak. It seems like they're trying to put some Band-Aids on and panic maybe. Yeah, panic. It's, I would say, signs of desperation. Yeah. Sandy Leon's batting average down at the Paw Sox was 80. So, not 800, 80. So 80. This
YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial
was their number
printer.
1 pick from the 2011 draft.
Right.
You know, I'm just starting to sense a little bit of this, you know, who they're going to point the finger at. They basically send him out, designated him for assignment, which essentially means he's gone. Some other team's going to grab him. I think he is a talent. He'll land with another team and probably be okay. But clearly last night, Sandy Leon was not a difference maker with Sale.
No.
So I don't know, man. It's going to start. It's going to be difficult to find other people to blame other than maybe management.
Right, exactly. And so we'll have to follow along closely. Obviously, we will as they play again in New York, and then they go to Tampa Bay for 3. We'll take a break and come back and talk about that. Are the Rays already too far ahead in that division? So we'll talk about that, break it down. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.